Yo, what's up? My name's Patrouski, and welcome to my Day 1 Johto Survival Guide. Now, I am pre-recording this before the region is actually implemented into the game, a couple hours before it actually comes out. So I'll be basing all of my information on the PTS, or otherwise known as the Public Test Server, which is essentially an alpha testing of the actual region's release. Now, I was one of the few people to actually be able to play through and complete the region during the limited 2-day PTS, so I feel like I have a pretty good understanding of things, but things are always subject to change from the PTS to the actual release. But a lot of the things I'm going to cover should still hold pretty true on actually good advice to help you beat Johto day 1. Or at least help you in some way throughout your Johto journey, whether you're playing on day 1, day 2, or maybe even a couple years from now. But this is meant to be quick and simple. Let's just go ahead and jump into it. Tip number 1. Totodile is the best starter for the region. I know, it frustrates many of you Typhlosion enjoyers out there, myself included. I love Typhlosion too, but it's hard to beat for Alligator having the stats that it does. The natural bulk, Swords Dance, Dragon Dance, water types are so good. Having Rock Smash coverage and fighting type coverage for Whitney. Trust me, for Alligator is truly super powerful. If you aren't picking it as your starter Pokemon, it's still worth catching one early game with Lures and Ultra Balls if you are coming from another region within PokeMMO. If this is your first region and your first time playing PokeMMO in Johto, it's going to be more difficult for you to actually acquire those Lures and Ultra Balls to help you get that Totodile early game. But in the PTS, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can actually pop Lures and catch Totodile in a certain route in-game. Now, you'll want to double check. You should be able to, if you have it in your Pokedex, go over to wild locations and see where it's at. Like right now, Johto's not out yet, so we only see the Safari Zone, but it should update once the region's in the game. It was in one of the early game routes. I believe you could catch Totodile before the first gym badge. During the PTS, and I hope they carry this over to the main server, you could actually start with one of the Pokemon. For example, start with Cyndaquil and then go catch a Totodile and Chikorita before the first gym and play through all of Johto with all the 3 starters if you would like, which is very cool. And I do have a video guide actually covering how to do that, which hopefully should be linked in the description below. If it's not, let me know in the comments. Speaking of transferring stuff over from other regions, if you're not new to PokeMMO, buying powerful items like any of the choice items or leftovers, which are always in my box instead of actually in my bag, picking those up, or even more budget items like charcoals or mystic waters are really powerful to pick up before actually heading over to the Johto region. So make sure to buy those before jumping over to the dock. Next up, a quick little but important tip that could save you a ton of time and stress. Prioritize catching female Pokemon in the Johto region for Whitney. She's probably one of the hardest, if not the hardest gym leaders within the Johto region, and a lot of her Pokemon have Attract, and a lot of her Pokemon end up being female, so if you rock females as well, it won't work, and what ends up happening is you're able to actually dodge a lot of her sort of RNG hacks, and it's hugely beneficial. If you have the option, Route 1, for example, to catch either a male Rattata or a female Rattata, it's worth prioritizing that female Rattata. Next up is making sure you prepare some sort of electric type Pokemon or at least coverage move for the Gyarados boss battle. Specifically, getting something like a Mareep early game can be really good, getting that into an Ampharos as quickly as possible, and making sure it has the move Discharge. Discharge is extremely powerful in this boss battle because it's actually a 3-way battle. I have videos covering the boss battle, and I have videos covering the Whitney fight as well, which should be linked in the description once again. And then lastly, something kind of an overall thing to consider buying a Dontator Status either with in-game Pokeyen or IRL cash that supports the developers and lets you dodge queue. If you're worried about waiting in a login queue, if so many players are going to be playing Johto, Dontator Status, a little hidden perk is that it actually allows you to skip queue, or I guess more accurate would say to it allows you to put you in sort of your own Dontator Status queue or members queue essentially. You get prioritized in the queue, and it can save you a ton of time waiting in that login stream. But there you go. That's quickly 5 little tips that should help you day 1 in Johto. If you have any other questions, let me know in the comments down below. Like this video if it was helpful. Subscribe to the channel for daily PokeMMO videos and tons of Johto coverage. I'll be uploading so many videos covering tips and tricks, what Pokemon to look out for, money-making methods that pop up during the early days of Johto, etc., etc. Make sure to subscribe to see all of that. And if you want to go above and beyond and support me during this hard-working time, YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, and PayPal/Venmo do help out a ton. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys soon in Johto.
Hey, thank you so much for watching until the very end of the video. Hopefully it was a positive asset on your day in some way. And thank you to everyone's name who's on this list, who is a massive positive asset to my day every single day. I appreciate you all. Thank you for going above and beyond and allowing me to do what I do.